The stage slowly lights up as we hear the sounds of nature, birds chirping, the wind blowing, animals scurrying, etc. As the lights fully go up, we hear the following voice, and it says, all throughout human history, people have worshipped many gods in many cultures, some more than others. But one thing that remains a constant, whether it be the Romans, the Greeks, or even Lithuanian culture, is that sometimes the gods can take human form and meet up with the unlikeliest of people in the unlikeliest of places. Slowly, the figure of a boy comes walking out onto the stage. He carries with him a small crossbow-looking weapon. He looks around on stage for a few moments as if searching for something. This is Lucas. He is dressed in modest peasant garb. He hears the sound of birds chirping and flying off, and he points the crossbow.
Gotcha! Nuts. Flew away. A deer? Huh. Darn. I missed again. I'm just not cut out for this all. I can't seem to get anything in my sights, but even so, I don't feel right killing an animal. But I heard what my dad and two older brothers said, of course, before I left the house. Either come back with a dead animal for us to eat, or don't bother coming back at all. I guess that's what I need to do. If only there was something else I could do to prove I'm a man to them.
With that, he continues to walk around the stage, crossbow at the ready. Soon, a pink light bathes the stage briefly, going back to normal before Lucas can notice anything. However, he soon smells the air and he smiles a bit.
Wow. I might be going crazy, but it smells like such a nice, wonderful perfume. Such a sweet and heavenly scent. Where could that be coming from?
Suddenly, we hear the light, airy giggle of a young girl. It echoes on stage as Lucas, alarmed, looks around.
Uh-huh? Who's that? Who's there?
The giggling stops for a moment. Lucas goes to speak, but he is cut off as the giggling is heard again.
There it is again. I can hear a girl, but I don't see anyone.
Soon, the giggling is replaced by the sound of a girl singing softly.
Oh gosh, that sounds so beautiful. What a wonderful melody. Wherever this girl is, I must find her.
Lucas turns to gaze off stage as, from behind him, a girl who looks to be about his age comes on, almost gliding on air. She hums to herself as she comes up behind him, smiles, and taps his shoulder.
Pardon me.
What? Huh?
You should be more careful with that crossbow. You might hurt someone.
I could? Oh gosh, I could. I beg your pardon, miss, but I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's quite all right. You didn't mean it, I'm sure.
Of course not. Oh, gracious, where are my manners? My name is Lucas. It's a pleasure, milady.
Such a sweet gentleman. I'm called Medina. A pleasure right back.
That's the most beautiful name I've ever heard. And so familiar, too.
Is it?
Why, yes. I feel like I've read it in books and heard it whispered by people all the time.
Oh, have you?
Yes. Just think. How do you know that name?
I'll give you a clue. It's to do with nature.
Well, gee, that's a good clue. Hmm. I suppose I'll figure it out eventually. So, tell me, how old are you? I'm 12.
Oh, I'm a bit older than that.
13?
No,
Young looking 14?
no,
Gosh, you certainly don't look 15.
I'm more like 15,000 years old.
A long beat. Lucas is not sure what to make of this.
15,000, you say?
hmm
Are you putting me on?
I'm not, kind sir. I'll show you,
Now this, I must see.
and you shall.
Slowly, she closes her eyes and outstretches her arms. Nothing happens at first, but soon we hear a low rumble, and a pink light again streaks across the stage. An echoing blast reverberates across the stage and fades out. Lucas stands, jaw dropped, as the lights return to normal.
That noise. You did that, didn't you? And there's that perfume smell again.
Do you have an idea yet?
You're the goddess of nature.
You figured it out.
Oh my. I'm so sorry, milady. I should have known from the start. But I guess since you appear to be my age, I was thrown off.
Oh, it's only because I'm one of the younger deities. Others have come before me. Long before me. Though don't let this fool you. I may look young, but I'm old beyond years.
Wow.
So, Lucas, tell me true. What brings you to my domain on such a lovely day like this?
Well, I'm here to prove myself to my father and brothers.
Oh?
Mm-hmm. You see, just because I'm more into poetry and writing and crafting, my brothers think I'm not fully a man. And never will be. And sadly, my father agrees with them.
Oh, goodness. That sounds awful. And not very fair. There's no shame in poetry and writing and crafting. Those are all very beautiful things.
I thought so too. But they've told me if I can hunt and find an animal to deliver to them for supper, they'll see me differently. And they'll consider me a man. So that's what I'm intending to do.
Oh. That explains the crossbow. I see. Dear me.
What's the matter? You were smiling a moment ago, and now you look upset. Have I offended you?
Please don't take this the wrong way, but I abhor the very practice of hunting. It hurts the precious system around us. The animals, the wind, the trees. It's just another form of cruelty to nature. It's so horribly barbaric. I just simply can't bear it.
Medina, forgive me for speaking out of turn. I would never talk rudely to someone. Especially a girl. Especially a goddess. But what's the big deal about hunting? Isn't that how we get food? Clothing? Supplies? I don't just mean killing animals without remorse, but mere survival. Don't you feel that's a fair compromise for the balance of things?
Somehow, I was afraid that might be what you would say. I want to show you something. It may not feel pleasant, but I think it'll help you understand. Come here a moment.
What is it?
In silence, she slowly puts a hand to his chest.
I'm not sure what you're doing. Why are you...
Suddenly, he winces in pain.
What? Ow! My chest. It's burning. What are you?
That burning feeling, that, Lucas, is the pain that every animal, every tree, flower, blade of grass, every gust of wind feels when man tramples and destroys it, either intentionally or unintentionally.
You're hurting me. Please stop. The burning is getting worse. I can feel it through my whole body now. Stop.
Forgive me. Please forgive me. But this is the only way you'll understand, Lucas. This may come as a surprise, but every day I take all of that hurt, pain, anguish, sadness of the animals, the forest, the grass, the air, nature itself, and transfer it into me. It's agonizing, and I wouldn't wish it upon anyone, not even the most cruel and evil of people. But it eases the pain of this domain. So tell me, do you feel the sadness, the pain?
Yes.
I'm beginning to see now that you understand the gravity of my words.
The pain is unbearable now for Lucas. His knees are trembling. He looks ready to collapse.
I do. Oh God, so much pain. I never knew animals in nature could feel such pain. I'm so sorry. Forgive me, Medina. I'll never hunt again as long as I live. Never ever. I don't care if my father and brothers never consider me a true man. I don't want to hurt a living thing ever. This I vow.
Thank you. That's all I wished to hear. I know that wasn't easy, but I'm glad your heart is pure enough to see reason.
She gently backs away from him, taking her hand away from his chest. Lucas sinks to his knees and puts his hands to his face, sobbing. Medina watches him with a look of pity and guilt. She truly did not want to reduce him to this, even if she was trying to make a point to him. She gently kneels down in front of him and takes her hands in his.
I'm so sorry, Lucas. I was just trying to show you the truth. I did not set out to hurt you.
I know.
I humbly ask for you to forgive me. I normally don't do things like this, especially to people like you, that I know deep down are truly kind beings. Here, let me.
She gently wipes his tears away with her finger. Then she leans up and kisses him on the forehead. Lucas lets out a calm sigh as she does this. She smiles at him as he looks at her.
Will you be okay?
Yes.
Good. Come, walk with me. Let's enjoy nature around us together. Please? For me?
Yes.
The two smile and walk off stage briefly. The lights dim, but then come up fully again. Lucas and Medina slowly walk back on together, and we are to assume they are in another part of the forest.
Wow. You know, it's also lovely, Medina. When you really take the time to look at nature, just all of it, you realize the wonderful beauty.
It is wonderful.
And just think, you made all of it.
Well, heavens, not all of it. I can't take all of the credit.
Gosh.
What's wrong?
It's just not what I would expect. First, you ask me for forgiveness from earlier, when you're a powerful goddess, and I'm just a mere boy mortal. then you modestly say you don't deserve credit? I would never expect that from someone who is a goddess. Please forgive me for making assumptions.
I always try not to be like the other gods and goddesses. Though I've been a bit lacking. I always promised myself I would talk more with mortals, to see how they're doing, to see what they're like, that sort of thing. But lately, I've never had the time to, or seen one worth talking to. You, Lucas, are so sweet and kind and wonderful. You're definitely one that I felt worthy to talk to. The first in a while.
Oh, shucks.
Oh dear, Lucas, you're blushing, and such a shade of pink too.
I am?
You are, but it's so very cute, just like you.
The two are now close together, their lips just inches apart. Lucas becomes aware of this, and he turns away bashfully. Medina also turns away shyly. The two are silent for a few moments. Then Medina turns back to Lucas.
May I ask you something?
Of course.
One of your pieces of poetry? May I hear it?
Oh, well, gee, I don't know if it's not really that good.
Well, how would we know that if you don't read it? Please. For me?
Oh, okay. I do have one in my pocket that I carry often.
Lucas slowly pulls out a slip of paper from his pocket as Medina backs up a few steps from him.
I call it The Path I Took Today.
And I can't wait to hear it.
Lucas goes to read the poem, but before he can get a word out, he sniffs the air a few times, then wrinkles his nose a bit.
Is something wrong?
Well, yeah. Honestly, call me crazy, but all of a sudden there's such a horrible smell in the air.
Oh?
Yes, it smells like a burning, rancid, putrid smell.
Medina gets a look of fear on her face as Lucas says this. She obviously has an idea of why this is, though Lucas doesn't.
Gosh, I wonder what it could be.
Oh no.
Huh?
Lucas, go on ahead with me for a few moments. Would you?
Go on ahead.
Yes. Just go past that clearing there, please. Right there. I'll join you in a few minutes. I promise.
I don't understand.
Lucas, you must listen to me. Do as I say. You can't be here right now.
Medina, you're scaring me. Is something wrong? Are you in danger?
I'll explain later. Just please, go away from here right now. I beg of you.
What about you?
Lucas, do as I say, please.
Lucas hesitates for a moment, then he nods and hurries off stage as Medina looks around warily. She obviously is expecting someone or something to emerge.
Show yourself. I know you're here. Whatever form it is you've taken.
Moments later, a figure comes walking out onto the stage from the opposite side. He is a large, looming, imposing man, dressed in black and adorned with chains and animal pelts. Medina gasps as she sees him, and she backs away a few steps in fear. She soon stops her backing up, and she moves back a bit towards him.
So, it was you, Slow Goddess?
Yes, it is indeed Slow Goddess, a demon god of pain, misery, or nightmares. Medina slowly curtsies to him in greeting as, despite his standing as a malevolent entity, he is still a fellow god and she has been taught to respect him.
Good day to you, my lord. What brings you to my domain today? As if I didn't know.
Slogotis ignores her. He bumps past her and begins sniffing the air around him.
Slogotis, I'm speaking to you. Why don't you answer me?
There's something here, near the two of us.
Well, of course. The animals and the nature are around us.
No. It's not the scent of an animal. It's that of a man.
A man? Around this part of the forest?
Not just any man. The air, it smells of someone young. A boy. A mortal boy.
Is that so?
Who is he? What's he doing here?
I'm certain I don't know what you mean.
Are you naive, girl? You think I don't know when someone is lying to me, especially a fellow god? Where is he? Where did you send him?
Don't do anything to him. He's just a boy. You said so yourself.
That matters little to me. He's a mortal here in these woods, and I always enjoy confronting those putrid beings and making them regret coming here.
Let it be. He's a kind, sweet, innocent boy. He's done nothing to deserve whatever evil intentions that you have for him.
Kind, sweet, innocent? All the more better to find him.
I won't let you hurt him.
You think you can stop me?
I'll try if I can.
Well, come then, milady. Do it. Stop me.
A pause. He smirks and grabs her wrist roughly.
Here, let me show you what I would do in your place.
You're hurting me, Slogotis.
That's the point.
Please, no! Let me go, I beg of you, let me go!
She said let her go.
Slogotis stops and turns to face Lucas, who, trembling, has walked back on stage, crossbow aimed at Slogotis' chest.
Oh, Lucas, no.
You're the boy? How pathetic looking you are. And what's this? A little tinker toy, I see.
He grabs at the crossbow and snaps it, almost like a twig.
There, much better.
Whoever you are, get away from her. Now. Just leave us alone.
Whoever I am. You, my young fellow. You're much braver than I thought. But a lot more foolish. Who am I? I'm fear. I'm devastation. I'm chaos. I'm...
Slogotis.
Ah, so you do know of me.
I've heard my father and brother speak about you in hushed tones, but I never thought I'd see you up close.
Well, you are now.
He looms over Lucas, who looks absolutely terrified, but wanting to help Medina, he does not run.
In a few seconds, I'm going to unleash absolute pain and torment to your entire being, boy. You have one chance to run. One chance to do something. Anything. I rarely grant humans that right, so count yourself lucky. Come, try and do something. If you dare.
Lucas is silent. He eyes past Slogotis at Medina, who looks right back to Lucas, almost as if they're trying to communicate a plan without using words.
I'm waiting. But just know, boy, I won't wait much longer.
Lucas slowly squats down and scrapes his hand along the ground. scooping up dirt into his hand. He gets back to his standing position, and in a flash, he throws the dust into Slogotis' face.
Ah!
Slogotis is surprised and momentarily blinded as Lucas rushes to Medina and takes her hand.
Come on!
The two race off stage together as Slogotis recovers, wipes his eyes, and, surprisingly, grins a bit.
Clever boy. He might be a bit of a challenge. I like a challenge.
He slowly strides off as the lights dim briefly, then come back up as Lucas and Medina race back on stage, panting and catching their breath.
Are you okay?
Yes. Yes, I'm fine. Oh, Lucas. Oh, you brave, sweet, dear heart. You saved me. You're my hero. But you've given a death wish to Slogotis.
I did, didn't I?
Well, yes. Slogotis doesn't like to be fooled with. Or tricked. And you've just made him angry.
I don't care. He could chase me for the rest of my life if he wants. As long as I protected you.
You're the sweetest boy ever.
Thank you.
But we've got pressing matters ahead now. Slogotis is no doubt looking for you, and
He's found you.
Lucas and Medina turn and gasp. Lucas takes a protective stance in front of Medina as Slogotis backs them up.
Leave her alone. Do what you must to me. But let her go free.
no! Take me, Slogotis. I can handle whatever pain you want to inflict. Let Lucas go home.
Ugh. Such sappy little budding romance. How it makes me want to vomit. And even ignoring that, it's a very sad sight to see a goddess such as you, Medina, showing affection for a mortal.
It's called compassion for a fellow being. And you should try it sometime.
No matter. Now it's time for me to do what I set out to do.
He grabs Lucas by the throat and drags him to center stage as Medina gasps and follows quickly.
You monster! You brute! Leave him alone!
She beats at his back with her fists.
Stay out of this, Medina. Be lucky I've decided to spare you for your interference and transgressions.
He shoves her back with his free hand. She nearly falls over, but she manages to maintain her balance. She frowns and races back to him, pressing her hands to his back.
I said stop!
A yellowish light engulfs the stage briefly. Medina is burning Slogotis' back with her hands. He lets out a growl and lets go of Lucas.
Ah! Have you gone mad? You side with a mortal over me? You need to be punished even more severely than I thought.
He stalks towards Medina. Lucas, thinking quick, grabs a rock and chucks it at Slogotis, nailing him in the back of the head.
You pesky little mouse.
He goes to grab at Lucas again, but this time Lucas is a bit too quick. He scurries out of the way and grabs another rock, chucking it at Slogotis' head once again.
I'm rapidly running out of patience. Stand still so I can end you, boy. I'll make it as quick as possible.
Not on your life.
Have it your way.
He goes to grab Lucas a third time, but Medina shoves Lucas out of the way. Without hesitation, he grabs Medina by the throat and starts to choke her.
You've done enough, milady.
No!
He grabs the chains adorned on the back of Slogotis and begins to pull on them as hard as he can. A tug of war ensues as suddenly one of the chains snaps off and Lucas tumbles to the floor. A brief crash of thunder is heard as Slogotis lets go of Medina and turns to Lucas.
What did you do?
I don't know how. It was an accident. I swear.
Slogotis takes a few steps towards Lucas, who is petrified but remains still. Slogotis, though, does not have a look of anger on his face. It's more of surprise. Surprise, being very impressed and very tired.
You pulled away one of my chains, boy. Not too many people can say they've done that and live to tell the tale. You really are a brave mortal. I've reduced grown men to blubbering tears, but you not only faced me down, you protected Medina. That takes courage. And guts.
Lucas was not expecting this, so he remains silent in surprise as Slogutus looks towards Medina briefly, then back to Lucas.
I've grown weary of chasing you and her around, so I'm going to give you a very big reprieve. But just know this. It is your one and only reprieve. Everyone, man and woman, gets one. If I appear in these woods again and see you, though, all bets are off. Do you understand?
Yes, my lord. I do. Thank you for your mercy.
As for you...
He turns to Medina.
Shockingly, the more I think about it, the more I feel strangely moved by your compassion for this boy, so I will spare you also. But don't make this a habit.
Medina does not answer. Slogutus slowly begins to walk off, but stops and turns back briefly.
Keep that piece of chain. Tell your father and brothers it came from me. I think that will prove your manhood sufficiently, don't you agree?
How did you...
You forget who you're speaking to? I know many, many things. More than you'll ever know. Remember, one reprieve. That's all. Milady.
He has bowed to her, and finally, he is gone. Lucas and Medina both share a silent, "Is it over?" look, before finally, she rushes to Lucas and hugs him tightly.
Lucas, you were wonderful.
So were you.
I've never seen anyone do that before to him. I don't think I ever will as long as I exist.
I'm still trembling. Look at my hands.
Goodness. Me too. Me too.
Her hands have gone to his cheeks gently, and the two gaze longingly at one another as some quiet, sad music plays. Medina slowly breaks the silence.
Lucas, it's time for you to go home now. And time for me to head back to where I need to be as well.
I guess so. I don't want you to go.
I don't want to go either.
I'll miss you.
And you. I'll try and visit you as often as I can. I can't promise when, but I will. This I vow.
I love that a lot.
Well, then I guess this is goodbye for now.
Yes. Goodbye. For now. This isn't going to be easy. I can't just walk away now. After what happened between us, I'm about ready to cry.
I know. I have an idea. Close your eyes. I'm going to count to 5, and when I do, I'll be away. That way, you won't need to see me go. Does that sound fair?
Yes. It'll still feel painful, but at least I won't see it.
Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Slowly, Medina kisses Lucas on the lips. It is a semi-deep romantic kiss. Lucas's body tenses up in surprise and awe as Medina flutters her eyes closed. After several moments, she breaks away.
5. Goodbye, Lucas. Dear heart.
With that, she flits off quite quickly. Lucas is left on stage. His eyes open dizzily, and he smiles. He touches his hand to his lips briefly, then smiles.
Good. Goodbye, Medina. You wonderfully beautiful girl.
Slowly, Lucas pulls out the piece of paper from his pocket again. He then pulls out a pencil and scribbles over the words presumably on it, and begins to jot down another poem, reciting it as he writes.
On the path I took today, I saw some animals headed my way. And when the dust was settled unclear, who was it that would suddenly appear? Beautiful goddess of nature.